Assalamualaikum, my name is Mutiah Rahmah. I will do presentation with the title is Coronary Artery Disease. According to the World Health Organization, CAD or Coronary Artery Disease accounted for 98.9 deaths per 100,000 population in Malaysia. It is the most common cause of deaths in the country. So what is CAD itself? CAD or coronary artery disease is a condition when there is an inadequate supply of blood and oxygen in the myocardium. It typically involves the formation of plaques in the lumen of coronary arteries that impede blood flow. The imaging modalities for evaluating this disease can be used radiography, fluoroscopy, multi-detector CT, positron emission tomography, and we will focus on MRI imaging. MRI is useful in identifying the location and thickness of myocardial scars. This is the image that can show you how MRI works to do imaging in coronary artery disease. The first one, the patient's body is placed in the magnetic field during the imaging procedure. When the patient is placed in the magnetic field, the tissue becomes temporarily magnetized because of the alignment of the protons. The magnetic field produced by superconducting magnets and the intensity will determine the characteristic of MR images and image quality. The MRI process itself uses radio frequency signals or non-ionizing radiation to transmit the image from the patient's body. So this is the differences between another imaging devices. These signals provide information and the image is reconstructed by the computer. Throughout the process, the acquisition controlled by the computer, such as image reconstruction, image storage and retrieval, viewing control and post-processing. It can select specific image and control viewing factors such as windowing for adjust contrast and zooming for adjust magnification. And the entire process can take from 30 to 90 minutes. This is the example to adjusting the parameter. The first picture at the left side shows T1 diagram. When the T1 and the normalized signal intensity are getting higher, the image will be clearer. And the second one, which is the right side, picture shows that when the T2 is getting higher, then oppositely the normalized signal intensity is lower, the result will be better. Then we can get the best images. Next, different type of patient's condition will be determined the imaging process. For the MRI imaging itself, because an MRI uses magnets, it can attract metals. You should alert your doctor if you have any type of metal implant from previous surgeries. For example, if you have a pacemaker or any sort of metal implant from previous surgeries, you may not be able to receive an MRI because it uses magnets. The weaknesses in this technique in diagnosing the coronary artery disease are high quality image depend on ability to remain perfectly still and follow breath holding instruction while the images are being recorded. If you are anxious, confused, or in severe pain, you may find it difficult to lie still during imaging. Coronary artery imaging techniques is that they are time-consuming and at present are limited to visualizing only the proximal to mid portions of the coronary artery systems. All in all, suggestion for improvement this imaging. However, dimensionality here is an issue. Training of 3D dynamic sequences seems tremendously involved in terms of data and computing time requirements. Maybe mixed approaches in the constructions is carried out by means of deep learning solutions that are then defined by means of a classical optimization-based approach could be a procedure to explore. Next, from this topic, we can know how coronary artery disease is one of the diseases that needed a concern more. People can do preventive with routine exercise, eat a healthy food, and through scanning their body to keep their health on track. And for us, as a biomedical engineer, can learn how to do an assessment with the patient with this disease using biomedical imaging, such as an MRI. From this topic, we can conclude that coronary artery disease is inadequate supply of blood and oxygen to the myocardium, which can be detected earlier using imaging devices such as MRI or CT scan. And these are the references. Thank you for your attention. Sorry for any mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.